さんと一緒に遊ぼうか。
本当？
ああ。
Let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
I finally watched it, one of the cornerstones of anime. When people speak of greatness, when you speak of classics, when they are asked what is one of your favorite animes you have experienced, one title that is commonly heard is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, I do remember the original Fullmetal anime in pieces, as it aired on, I believe, Adult Swim. But that was years ago, before I became the anime connoisseur that I am today. But apparently Brotherhood was the more faithful adaptation, and the one I kept hearing was a lot of people's favorites. So I did my due diligence and went back to experience what I missed, and apparently I missed a fucking lot. So I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. Grab yourself a seat, sit back and relax as I share with you my top 10 favorite moments from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my anime lounge.
行きますか。
I love the Armstrong family in this show, Luis and Olivia. Shortly after the revelation that King Bradley was indeed a homunculus and was using the military to push towards the Promised Day agenda, Major General Olivia was recruited into the ranks to replace General Raven, who she had just slain. Savagely, might I add. She was cold-blooded. I loved her. This was to use her as a hostage to take control of the Brig soldiers. However, she used this opportunity to invade the ranks and to fight from the inside. One of her first moves was to get her family out of harm's way, and to do that, she told her father and mother to leave and go on vacation and allow her to take over as the head of the family. The father said, sure. Fight your brother for it. And Luis was like,
What
ensued was one of the most spectacular ass whoopings ever witnessed in the Atlantic Northeast.
Bro, she beat the shit out of Luis. The way that man was screaming, no! Bro, I had tears in my eyes, bro. I think this was the hardest I've laughed in the show. At number 9, we have the running gag that never gets old. Anyone mentioning Edward Elric's height. Ed is a certified G, a genius alchemist, a loyal as hell brother. He is also incredibly short.
しかししばらく見ないうちにエドは小さくなったね。
Anytime someone even hints at his height, calls him a pipsqueak, a shrimp, anything, my man just loses his entire mind. He explodes in these rage-fueled, hilarious tantrums that are funny every single time. And his reactions are the perfect dose of character-driven humor that makes him feel real. And even funnier is when everyone runs to Al, believing he's the Fullmetal Alchemist. And I can't blame him. You call him anything. Weak, crazy, stupid. But you call this man short, he'll turn this bitch into a horror movie real fast.
赤いコートで金髪の三つ編みのチビ。
Coming in at number 8 is one of the most powerful character moments in the series. Winry Rock Bell, salute to you, soldier. The Elric's childhood friend and automail mechanic finally corners Scar, the man who murdered her parents. With a gun in her hand, she's trembling, filled with a rage and grief that's completely justified. Scar even tells her, "You have every right to cast judgment on me," and was ready to accept whatever she does. And just as she's about to pull the trigger,
Hey, squeeze it, nigga.
Ed steps in front of her. He tells her that her hands aren't meant for killing. They're meant for building, for giving life. It's a beautiful, gut-wrenching scene that perfectly nails the show's central theme of breaking the cycle of hatred, because that took some real strength. He made a nigga reverse a tank up a wall. Number 7 is a moment of pure, undiluted badassery. He was a savage throughout the entire show, but this was the exclamation point. When Führer King Bradley returns to Central, he doesn't sneak He doesn't sneak in the back. He walks right up to the front gate after announcing he's back, which is guarded by a whole Briggs tank. That announcement was a warning. What happens next is insanity. Bradley, with nothing but a sword, moves like a hurricane of blades, deflecting bullets, slicing a tank shell in half, and taking down the entire machine single-handedly. It's a scene that perfectly establishes the terrifying, inhuman speed and power of the man at the top. It shows why he was the king, the chosen, the anointed. It's not a battle, it's a statement. His arrival single-handedly turned the tides in this takeover, war, whatever you want to call it, rebellion. He came back and changed how everything was going. Coming in at number 6 is a moment of pure redemption for one of the show's most lovable characters. Underneath Central, Major Alex Louis Armstrong comes face to face with the homunculus sloth. We're talking about a monster of pure physical power. Unbelievably fast, I believe he said he was the fastest of the homunculus, and seemingly indestructible.
Two big men with big chests and big muscles. Bumping meat.
For Armstrong, this isn't just another fight. This is him confronting the horrors of his past. After being forced to flee the Ishvalan, boy, I be messing this up. The Ishvalan War, haunted by the atrocities, this is his moment to finally stand his ground and protect his comrades. He summons all his courage, and with his signature brand of combat alchemy that has been passed down the Armstrong line for generations, he takes on the behemoth. It's a powerful scene where Armstrong proves that true strength isn't just about his sparkling muscles, but about having the courage to face your demons head on. This fight was all about his personal redemption, and this man was putting hands on Sloth. He was doing what a tank couldn't do. He was giving Sloth knuckle sandwiches.
Big meaty man slapping meat.
Everything involving Roy. Roy Mustang got one of the hardest names in anime, right up there with Crollo Lucifer. He was too OP for the show. That rainy day saved Scar. He bullied Envy, literally had that man under his foot crying about not wanting to die. This was the only time I didn't agree with them in the show, because he absolutely deserved to get his get back on Envy. They talking about, oh, don't lose yourself in rage and vengeance. I'm like, maybe if y'all let him get this one Maybe if y'all just let him get this one, he'll cool off. Let's see how this plays out first. Envy had to go. He torched Lust with just the flick of a lighter.
2、3度気絶しかけたよな。
They had to blind him for that final battle because God or not, it can go left swiftly with Roy as an op. Loved his relationship with Risa. Bro, she was one of the realest, holding him down. His anchor, she was out there with zero alchemy, diving head first into battles. A master sniper. When they were going against the Central Forces and they noticed there were no casualties, the way they realized Risa and Roy was holding back was hilarious. Because she shot the dude in the foot. He was like, yep, yeah, they holding back.
Hughes, you okay? Hughes!
I finally understand the context of this picture now. Keeping with the theme of Roy, this one had to get its own moment. Number 4 is a gut punch that has nothing to do with alchemy and everything to do with loss. The death of Maze Hughes, a goofy, kind, lovable family man, is devastating. He isn't killed in a flashy battle. He's murdered! God damn it. In a phone booth by Envy. He had to go, bro. Boy, they should have let him stomp his ass out because he found out too much about the conspiracy at the heart of the government. But the moment that truly breaks you is his funeral. Seeing his little daughter confused, asking why they're burying her daddy just shattered me.
Daddy said he has a bunch of work he needs to do. No, stop it! Stop putting dirt on him!
He had to go to work. Don't bury him. He got to go to work. He can't work if he's buried. Damn it. And when a stoic Colonel Mustang stands over the grave, trying not to cry, and says, "It's a terrible day for rain." Man, that was pain right there. Before we get into the top 3 moments, I have to give a massive shout out to one of the best squads, Ling and his bodyguards, Lan Fan and Fu. These guys showed up from the nation of Xing looking for the secret to immortality and immediately inject a whole new level of energy and stakes into the show. Ling is the perfect mix of a goofy, perpetually hungry fool and a deadly serious future emperor. But his bodyguards, they are on another level of loyalty. Lan Fan was so dedicated, she literally cut her own arm off to help Ling escape from King Bradley. Mind you, Ling was still boxing with Bradley while carrying an injured Lan Fan. I hope I'm saying her name right. I apologize if I'm not. And her grandfather, Fu, is an absolute beast, fighting with the wisdom and power of a seasoned warrior. They was fun to watch. They weren't just side characters. They were a core part of the heart and soul of the story. And they stayed turning gluttony into a victim.
It ain't them niggas that act hard, it's them niggas that be like, quiet like. It's the ones that put the slugs in your ass and tell your ass good night. Yeah. It ain't them niggas that act hard, it's them niggas that be. It ain't them niggas that act hard, it's them niggas that be like, quiet like. It's the ones that put the slugs in your ass and tell your ass good night.
You know what my grandma says? She says you shouldn't cry for loved ones who've passed away. Because when you do, it makes them feel sad in the next world.
At number 3, we have the moment that starts it all. The catastrophic human transmutation. The story begins with 2 young, grieving brothers, Ed and Al, trying to use the forbidden science of alchemy to bring back their dead mom. The result is a nightmare. In a terrifying flash of light, Ed loses his left leg, Al loses his entire body. In a desperate act of love and sacrifice, Ed then gives up his right arm to bond his brother's soul to a suit of armor. This one event, this single heartbreaking mistake sets the entire sprawling epic into motion.
メイちょっと離れてろ
Our runner-up for moment of the show for me is the thematic and emotional climax of the entire series. Ed's final sacrifice. After the final battle, with his brother's soul still lost, Ed has a choice. He could use the Philosopher's Stone, but they refuse to use those to get their bodies back. So Ed, he performs one last human transmutation on himself. He stands before the gate of truth and offers up the one thing that defined him, the source of his power and identity, his ability to perform alchemy. In exchange for giving up alchemy forever, he gets his brother Alphonse back, whole and complete. No more metal suit, he gets his whole body back. It's the ultimate statement. He doesn't need godlike power, he just needs his brother, which was the core purpose of this entire show.
We're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored.
お客さんいっぱい。
いいな。犬は繋いでおかなくっちゃ。
Son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die.
And number one, yes, the number one greatest moment in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood comes right after its most horrific. I know some people already know what boy, y'all knew, boy, I finally get it, I finally understand why I kept seeing Show Tucker's name pop up anytime people talk about the worst fathers in anime. I don't know if it's Show or Shao. I don't think it matters at this point. After the Nina Chimera reveal, you're left feeling sick, powerless. What can you even do to a monster like him? And then Scar appears. He finds Tucker's lab, and while Ed argues about the law, Scar delivers a different kind of verdict. There is no trial, no debate, and with a flash of destructive power, he executes him on the spot, calling it divine judgment. The cruel irony is that Tucker gave up his humanity out of fear of losing his state alchemist status, only for that very status to be the reason he loses his life. You don't have to wait long for justice. It's immediate, shocking, and deeply satisfying. It is brutal, instantaneous, and a dark, very necessary moment of catharsis.
Play it again, play it again. Play it again, play it again. Play it again, play it again. Play it again. Play it again.
I went into Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood expecting a great action show. I came out of it having experienced a true work of art, because it takes all of these moments, the funny, the epic, the soul-crushing, and weaves them together into one story with a perfect beginning, a thrilling middle, and one of the most satisfying endings I've seen in a while. It asks huge questions about sacrifice, redemption, and what it means to be human, all anchored by the love between two brothers. And this was my journey with this incredible series, an absolute emotional roller coaster. But that's enough of my yapping, now it's your turn. For the long-time fans, I know I'm late, but what were your favorite moments? Would you have been able to resist pulling that trigger on Scar? What was your reaction the first time you seen the Shao Tucker moment? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. It really helps me out.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
Join the lounge and grab yourself a seat. Share with your friends or anyone who loves anime like us.
Tell your friends about me.
I appreciate you all for watching, and as we always do when we close out, Let's all raise a glass in the air. Here's to anime.
Bang